Next amendment is by Senator Duplesis. It's set number 356, 356.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, I want to be crystal clear on my position as it relates to this legislation and the death penalty. I am vehemently opposed to state-sanctioned execution in all forms, in every method. But I'm offering up this particular amendment, which will strike the use of basically using gas as a method of execution. Because while every method of execution, I believe, is a form of torture, this one stands out. This one stands out for many in our community. It evokes incredibly deep pain. As we know, this method was used to kill millions by Nazi Germany, and to use an untested, unproven method to take the life of someone in this way is something that, while I would never support this bill, even if this amendment were to pass, I want to speak on behalf of many in my community and many in our communities who believe that this method in particular of using lethal gas is just simply unacceptable, and it is another form of torture that I don't think any of us should be a part of. So this amendment would strike that method from this bill.
Members, Senator Duplesis has offered an amendment to House Bill 6. I see no questions. Any objections? Senator Klein-Peter objects. On your objection.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senator Duplesis, with all due respect, this method is approved in other states. It is not deemed unconstitutional, and until they deem this method unconstitutional, I would like to keep the bill in its proper posture.
Senator Duplesis to close on your amendment. He waives his closing. Member Senator Duplesis has offered an amendment to House Bill 6, which Senator Klein-Peter has objected. When the clerk opens the machines, all those in favor of the amendment will vote yes. All opposed will vote no. Madam Clerk, please, Secretary, please open the machines. Vote your machines. Senator Jackson Andrews, yes. Secretary will close the machines, 15 yeas and 22 nays, and the amendment failed to be adopted. Next amendment.
No further amendments.
No further amendments. Senator Duplesis for the floor on the bill.
Members, I know this is a difficult one for everybody. This is never an easy one. I want to just begin by talking about the victims, and that my heart breaks for every victim, every family member who's had to experience the loss or the pain of a loved one, to even have to go through the process of being confronted with someone who's committed such a heinous act. But I also want to talk about those victims who don't support the death penalty, which there are many. What about those victims? This is not as clear-cut as some may want it to be. There are many victims who don't believe that the state has the right or that this is any form of justice. I've never personally believed that the death penalty honors victims. It honors vengeance. And the Bible teaches us that vengeance does not belong to us. We know that the death penalty is ineffective because it's not a deterrent. We know that it's inefficient because it's incredibly costly, and it brings families through years and years of pain, and we know that it's awfully inhumane. It is inefficient, it's ineffective, and it's inhumane. But, you know, if you know how you're going to vote, if it doesn't appeal to your moral conscience, at least let's apply some common sense. In a few minutes, we're going to debate a bill dealing with the issue of post-conviction. Post-conviction. We have an entire process in our legal system dedicated to appeals and post-conviction. That's a clear acknowledgement by this body and the law that it's an imperfect system, that the system is flawed, and we give people an opportunity who've been convicted to petition for their innocence. I think since 1989, the state of Louisiana has exonerated over 70 people. But we would go down the path of something as final as putting someone to death when we know we have an imperfect system. I don't believe it gives anybody closure. I don't believe it brings anybody peace. But that's just my belief. Obviously, many feel differently. I think we can do better. I think the death penalty is one of the biggest stains on us as a society. And to continue to revive and expand it, I think only brings us in the wrong direction. I don't see how we can pray to a God that we can't trust in his fate, his covering of bringing that justice. For those reasons, I oppose this bill, and I ask that if you are still thinking about where you stand on this issue, that you also oppose this bill. Thank you.